Oh, hey, how are you doing? Sorry, I didn't notice you were there. I was too busy researching, understanding, reading. Well, you know what I'm saying. Nevertheless, today is one of those days. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those days in which you just don't feel right. You get moody, you don't know what to think, say, act. You're just all over the goddamn place. We will see. Oh, let's see. Today, the topic for this week is precisely that. Mood, word choice. Those author-controlled decisions which influence literature. Exactly, precisely, Ashley, and, anything that rhymes with Ashley. As you'll see, literature's essence and what makes it so great relies deeply on the author's ideas and his intentions. So here today, I will present to you Eat My Diction for Junot Díaz's novel, The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. Okay, so here we go. This excerpt that I chose for this week is the one on the scene where the author provides a brief description about Oscar's sister Lola. Through this quote, I'm going to show you the transformation of Lola's character in general. And shall we start with mood or tone? Let's see. You have exactly 2 seconds to choose right now. Time's up. Okay, so basically it was a joke. I'm gonna start with mood. I don't care what you chose either way. I'm sorry. It's a tough day. You know. Life is life. Okay. So let's see. Let's start with mood. What is mood? Well, let's ask Wikipedia. Okay, so Wikipedia says, the feeling that the author gives when reading a literary device. Oh, well, thank you, Wikipedia. God damn it, let's see. Sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, here we go. This is way better. Okay, so, in literature, mood is a literary element that evokes certain feelings or vibes in readers through words and descriptions. Usually, mood is referred to as an atmosphere of a literary piece as it creates an emotional situation that surrounds the reader. Mood is developed in a literary piece through various methods. It can be developed through setting, theme, tone, and diction. Let us see how writers use, in this case, Junot Díaz uses theme, tone, and diction in order to create a particular mood for this specific quote. Thank you, literallydevices.net. So this is precisely the fun part of literature. It is literally guessing. See what I did there? So mood. I'm going to read the excerpt out loud so you could identify what it is. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it down below so you could read it as well. But nevertheless, here's what it says. Oscar's sister Lola was a lot more practical. Now that her crazy years were over, what? Dominican girls don't have those? She turned into one of those tough Jersey Dominicans, a long-distance runner who drove her own car, had her own checkbook, called men bitches, and would eat a fat cat in front of you without a speck of vergüenza. We continue a little further down, and it goes, Oscar, Lola warned repeatedly, you're gonna die a virgin unless you start changing, you know what I mean? Don't you think I know that? Another 5 years of this and I'll bet you somebody is going to try to name a church after me. So that's the quote I chose for this week. And this is precisely the fun part of literature. Now we're going to guess a little about the mood. Okay, fine. So, we're ready. By reading this phrase, I'm going to pull it over there. I'm going to put out there that Diaz's purpose is to identify the reader with this Dominican girl, Lola. But not any type of girl. He's using certain literary devices such as the time and perhaps certain criticism, which I'm going to be analyzing afterward, to show her character, her mood, her experience, how she is in general. Yet I feel Diaz's mood is a little repulsive. I mean, am I right or am I right? By reading this, I get the feeling that Oscar's sister is a complete mess. But at the same time, I feel that she's independent. She is ready. She is out there doing things. She doesn't need of a man to take care for her. So now we're going to actually start analyzing the quote a little. So let's begin. She turned into one of those tough Jersey Dominican girls, a long distance runner. Long distance runner. I don't know you guys, but when I read that, I feel that I'm talking about some African or some like runner, you know? Someone who runs marathons, someone who is capable of doing great things. Who drove her own car, had her own checkbook, and called men bitches. By reading this, I definitely understand that she's capable of self-sustaining. She's a strong, self-sustainable girl. So basically what I feel here is that Junot Díaz is pretty much saying, hey, Lola is this girl who is not afraid to say what she thinks. She's secure, she's confident, but at the same time she can self-sustain. She does not need a man to take care for her, which shows a little about how stereotypical views of women, like Lola is not following that stereotype. She's not being that typical girl who is supposedly needs to be taken care of by a man. She can self-sustain. Then it goes, and would eat a fat cat in front of you without a speck of vergüenza. Would eat a fat cat. So let's consult the internet again. What does fat cat mean? So apparently, fat cat in slang means a wealthy and highly privileged person. A wealthy person who is heavy contributor to a political campaign. Now, if we apply this to Dominican Republic history, we probably know that by the time this is going on, wealthy people are usually going to be related to politics. And so if we know that Lola is capable of eating a fat cat, or probably dating, or probably, sleeping with a, wealthy person, we know that she has power. She is a wealthy person, she's a self-sustainable girl, and she will be capable of doing anything to demonstrate how she does not need a man to survive. What she's saying by called men bitches, hey, I can take for myself. I can take care for myself. I don't know about you, but I personally feel that this text promotes the idea of two completely different people. I think that if we were to give this colors, Oscar would be more of a white type of person, more of a pure saint type of person, and Lola would be more of a black, like comparing like yin and yang, in the sense that they're complete opposites, but together form complete harmony. Oscar is kind of the more saint type of guy, as we can see where he says, well, 5 more years of continuing being a virgin and I'm gonna end up having a church named after me. While Lola is more of that active person who has an active role in society. And I think this is pretty interesting because it shows how the author switches gender roles here. He promotes the idea of the woman here, Lola in this case, being the one who takes care for herself, who is active, who is constantly looking for new opportunities, taking a man's role. That's why also I feel that the mood for this type of thing is more repulsive, because it's showing a different gender. He's portraying a woman as a guy, and the guy as what is expected to be from a woman. Now, some poetic devices. Well, pretty much the only one I found for this excerpt is, don't you think I know that? Another 5 years of this and I'll bet you somebody's going to try to name a church after me. That's some sort of sarcasm, and I found it to be one of the poetic devices, He could have just simply avoided writing that, but it gives up for a more entertainment type of thing for literature. Now the voice, we understand that the voice is a more liberal type of thing, because I'm telling you, Junot Díaz's purpose with this is show how women are equally important as men. And he's doing this by portraying Oscar, a guy in theory, who's supposed to be the active person, who's supposed to be, the provider, being the one who has to be provided by a girl. So, colorful. Then again, we see the yin and yang type of thing. Two different worlds living together. And finally, tone, mood. Okay, we know that. We just read about it. The mood is repulsive. It's complaining against society's view of how women are supposed to be provided by the men. And how Junot Díaz is defying that idea. He's saying, no, women are equally important as men. So this is all we have for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it's not that messy. It's my first time. So see you next week. See ya.